Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. You know how unpredictable the NFL can be. One day, it seems like everything's set. The next, a seismic shift can turn everything upside down. And right now, the Washington Commanders are sitting in a very interesting position, especially with what's brewing on the horizon for the 2025 season. You see, this team is not just content with being a middle-of-the-road squad anymore. No, they are making serious moves, laying the groundwork for a potential deep playoff run, possibly even a Super Bowl appearance. And a lot of that confidence comes from what we've seen from their young quarterback, Jayden Daniels, who's been showing flashes of greatness and has fans dreaming about the franchise's future. But let's be real here, building a contender isn't just about a talented quarterback, it's about the whole package. And the Commanders have been actively working to surround Daniels with talent, adding pieces that can elevate the team from good to great. Earlier this offseason, they made some bold moves, acquiring left tackle Laremy Tunsil, a proven veteran who brings stability and elite pass-blocking skills to protect their young signal caller. That was a statement move, signaling their intent to contend now, not just in a couple of years. And they didn't stop there. They also brought in Deebo Samuel, one of the most dynamic wide receivers in the league, known for his explosiveness, yards after catch ability, and big play potential. These additions are not just about filling gaps, they're about transforming the offense into a powerhouse that can keep up with the best in the league. Now, imagine this. If you're a fan, you're probably thinking, okay, we've got the quarterback, the weapons, but what about the defense? And that's where things get really interesting. Because, as we all know, the NFL is a league that's often won on the strength of the defense, especially pass rushers who can change the course of a game with a single sack or a crucial pressure. The Commanders have made it clear, they're not just sitting back and hoping everything falls into place. They're actively looking to improve their roster, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. And here's the thing that's catching everyone's attention right now. There's talk about a potential trade for a top-tier pass rusher, someone who could really change the complexion of the defense. A name that's been making waves in NFL circles is Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals. Hendrickson has been one of the league's most consistent and disruptive pass rushers over the last couple of seasons, recording 17.5 sacks in back-to-back years, leading the league in sacks last season, and generally being a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. The Bengals, however, are in a tricky situation. They've been embroiled in a contract dispute with Hendrickson, and he's made it clear he wants out. They granted him permission to seek a trade earlier this year, and now the speculation is heating up. But why would the Commanders be interested? Well, if you look at their current roster, they have some promising pieces on the edge. Dorrance Armstrong Jr., who posted 5 sacks last season, along with Clelin Ferrell and Javonte Jean-Baptiste. But they're lacking that proven, game-changing presence that Hendrickson could bring. Adding a player like him would not only boost their pass rush, but it would also send a message to the NFC East and the league. The Commanders are serious about competing, about winning now. And that's exactly what owner Dan Snyder and head coach Ron Rivera want to see, to turn Washington back into a dominant force. Now, I know what you're thinking. Trades like that are never simple. There's draft capital involved, and the price can be steep. But here's where it gets interesting. ESPN's insider Ben Baby recently analyzed some hypothetical trades for Hendrickson, and one of the packages included the Commanders sending over a young defensive prospect, Jer'Zhan Newton, plus a third-round pick in 2026 and a seventh-round pick in 2027. That's a pretty reasonable deal, considering Hendrickson's production. Newton, for those who might not follow every college prospect, is a young, versatile defensive lineman who's shown flashes of brilliance in his college tape and could develop into a key contributor on Washington's defensive front. This trade scenario makes sense because Washington would be acquiring a proven star who has posted double-digit sacks in 4 of the last 5 seasons. Hendrickson's pass rush win rate last year was 24%, second best in the league among edge rushers. That's the kind of player who can immediately change the dynamics of the defensive line, and in a division that's stacked with talented quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, and Sam Howell, having a reliable edge rusher is almost non-negotiable. Plus, there's the strategic aspect. The Commanders have a solid interior defensive line with Darren Payne, Javon Kinlaw, and Dietrich Wise Jr., who can rotate inside if needed. Losing Newton in the trade might seem like a hit to the future, but if it means acquiring Hendrickson, a proven All-Pro, it's a trade-off that could pay huge dividends. The defense's age profile might increase slightly, but the upgrade at pass rush could be the difference-maker in close games, especially late in the season when every sack counts. And let's not forget, this is a team that's been rebuilding, yes, but also one that's clearly in a win-now mindset. The front office is doing everything they can to assemble a roster capable of competing at the highest level. They've already made significant investments in the offensive line and skill players, and now, bolstering the pass rush with a player of Hendrickson's caliber could be the final piece of the puzzle. It's about making a statement. Washington isn't just trying to be good, they want to be great, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Meanwhile, the NFC East continues to be one of the most competitive divisions in football. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants are all loading up, making every game a battle. The Commanders know that to hold their ground and push through, they need to match or surpass their rivals' talent levels. That's why acquiring a top pass rusher like Hendrickson would be such a game changer. It's not just about adding sacks, it's about sending a message to the entire league. Washington is back, and they're here to contend for the biggest prize in football. Looking ahead, the upcoming schedule is daunting. They'll face tough opponents early on and throughout the season, with games against division rivals and playoff-caliber teams. Having a proven pass rusher who can consistently pressure the quarterback in those critical moments could be the difference between a playoff appearance and an early exit. The front office and coaching staff are undoubtedly aware of this, and the possibility of pulling off that trade adds a layer of excitement for fans who crave a team that's not afraid to shake things up. And it's not just about individual players. It's about building a culture, one that emphasizes winning, resilience, and relentless pursuit of excellence. The Commanders have been working toward this for a while, and with each move, they're signaling their intent to be a serious contender. The fans, of course, are eager to see this vision come to life. They want to see the team fight for every yard, dominate on defense, and finally bring that Super Bowl trophy back to DC after so many years of longing and near misses. Now, if this trade for Hendrickson materializes, it could set a new tone for the franchise. It would show that the team isn't just trying to patch things up, they're actively trying to leap into the upper echelon of NFL contenders. Plus, it would energize the fan base, spark excitement around the team, and most importantly, give the players a boost knowing they've got a weapon that can change the game in their hands. The NFL is all about those game-changing plays, and Hendrickson is exactly the kind of player who can produce them. So, as we keep an eye on the offseason and the trade rumors, one thing is clear: the Washington Commanders are not standing still. They're making moves, strategic and bold, to carve a path toward greatness. Whether or not they land Hendrickson, it's evident that this franchise is serious about competing at the highest level, about making a splash in the NFC East and beyond. And for us, fans of the burgundy and gold, that's incredibly exciting to see. We're on the brink of a new chapter, one filled with hope, determination, and the relentless pursuit of a Super Bowl victory. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors? Do you think acquiring Hendrickson is the move that will push us over the edge? Or do you believe the team should focus on other areas first? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the franchise. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and insider news, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come.